Hello everyone. We're making another video here because I have a bunch of things that I want to record as baselines to be able to measure the improvement as we go. I guess the first thing that's probably the most glaring or that needs to be addressed immediately is this chin, my chin over here. So that basically started as a number of things. One of the things is that I think this is just more of my imagination. But, I was thinking about how Samson was very strong because he didn't cut his hair. And maybe I heard the Holy Spirit telling me that if I was to let these chin hairs grow, my strength would grow with the chin hairs. But also, one of the things, is that I don't really grow a lot of hair, facial hair. Like, I don't grow any hair here. I don't really grow any hair here. And so through my life, and I don't know if this is TMI or whatever, but I generally would just pluck the chin hairs because I could pluck them faster than they would, kind of grow out. And there was really no point shaving there. And so Stacy had commented that she thought I was OCD about that. And I was like, this is not OCD. OCD is where you can't stop doing something because anyway, so partially out of spite, maybe. I'm like, look, I'm not OCD. I don't have to pluck these. And it's not driving me crazy or anything. I don't know if it maybe will start driving. I don't really look at my stuff very much, so I'm not sure how that looks. It probably doesn't look very good. I don't know, but it has coincided, humorously with, these micro improvements that I'm seeing. So I'm like, well, maybe it is growing. The chin hairs will keep giving me the micro improvements, and for now, it's not causing any problems. We're going to go with it for a little while. Now, one of the things that we tried to do recently is driving. So when I stopped driving, it was because I didn't feel like I was strong enough to stomp on the pedals really well. And that part is fine now. My legs are fine. Stepping on the gas and brake, I don't even really have to think about it. But we tried driving about maybe 6 months ago. And, in order to minimize the number of lifts they had to do, I tried driving from the in-the-house driveway. And the most difficult part for me in driving now is the steering wheel because, my arms, shoulders are not very functional. And turning the steering wheel is difficult, especially when you're not moving. What I remember is when I was still driving before I stopped, I wasn't very strong at turning the wheel either, but because I was always driving, like every day, every week, whatever, I was very comfortable with, say you're making a right turn. When the car starts moving, you start turning the wheel. And as the car speeds up slowly, you keep turning, it gets easier to turn. And I was very comfortable getting the turns, done on time. But now that I haven't driven in a while, I don't have that confidence that if the car starts speeding up, I'll be able to turn the wheel fast enough to make the turns, if that makes sense. So I ended up being extremely timid, especially in the neighborhood. I mean, it's a neighborhood, there's not like fast cars, but still, I wasn't comfortable or confident enough to speed up enough to make turns, if that makes sense. So it was kind of scary. So this time we went to the school at the end of the day when there was nobody there, or it may have been a Saturday. And so there's no cars in the parking lot, and I was able to try to see. It was much less stress anyway. And we took the kids along and we drove around for 20 minutes or something, and I managed to do the left turns pretty well. And at the end, I almost got the right turns, but I wouldn't say I'm comfortable at driving. I was still kind of stressing out, but definitely was feeling that I was much better able to turn the wheels, and the pedals were, like I said, I didn't have to think about them. So that was pretty encouraging progress. We'll probably try driving again in a month or two and see how that goes. Again, just in a school parking lot. Another thing that we've been doing, because, and this is something that I might need some help with here, I wanted to see if I could start tinkering with guitar. So my fingers are also very weak, they don't press very hard or pinch or whatever. So it's difficult for me to press down on strings, I think. And we recently figured out how to get this right armrest off of the wheelchair so that I could hold the guitar while I was sitting in the wheelchair and kind of try to play it. But I didn't want to play on my guitars because I was afraid that I'd scratch the paint or chip or dent them or something on the metal parts of the wheelchair. So I asked Stacy to go find a trash guitar on Facebook Marketplace, find someone who doesn't want a guitar and will just buy one cheap, and I can practice with that one. So she found a guitar on Facebook that was being listed as having a broken, I forget what the description was. It was broken. One of the strings was broken or something. And we looked at it, and the guitar basically, one of the strings was missing, the high E string, and the pin that holds the string in at the bridge area was also missing. So I guess that person was like, well, this guitar is not usable. So they were selling it for like $30, I think. Or maybe it was higher and we haggled to 30, whatever. So Stacy bought the guitar, we brought it home. And, we have a 3D printer. So I printed some I printed pins. And after I printed them, because I figured I can't just replace the one, I have to replace all 6 so that they match. I found a pattern online that lets you put letters on the ends of the pin. So I could name my guitar with something up to 6 letters. And I was like, what name should I name it? And the kids think that Trashy is a good name, but I'm not so sure. Maybe if you guys could suggest good names for the guitar, we could maybe find something that's a good name. I don't know how to say what, but anyway, so we also changed the strings on the guitar, and in the process of changing the strings, we also cleaned up the fretboard. We ended up tightening the things that hold the peg handles because they were rattling. The strings were too high off the fretboard as well, so we even adjusted the what's that thing called? Oh, I knew what it was earlier. What is that thing called? What is that thing called? Alexa, what's the name of the thing that you twist to straighten the neck on a guitar?
The part you twist to straighten the neck on a guitar is called the truss rod adjuster.
Truss
It
rod.
helps maintain the neck's alignment for better playability.
And we even adjusted the truss rod in order to get the because the strings were a little bit too high off the fretboard. So, essentially my son and I are like luthiers now. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but we fixed it up, and I had difficulty deciding what strings to use. I've always played on elixirs, but they're kind of expensive. And so this time I tried the D'Addario brand. They have I forgot the name, EX or something, that's kind of like an elixir competitor, but it was cheaper. And so far it's pretty good, but what I discovered is that the new strings seem tighter than the old strings. So I lost a little bit of my ability to play. We have a little video here of me playing on the guitar. That's so funny. Working on the finger string. That's not bad, that's kind of wrong. So. Oops, this one I can't do very well. So those are some things I've been working on. I can't quite do hammers. I can kind of hammer 3. Oops, if I hit the string. 2 doesn't really work that well. I think these new strings are a little too tight, maybe. And my chords sound kind of non-sustaining. For example, this is an E chord. So I can't go my first finger down. An A chord, a D chord, G, C, A minor. Pretty bad. On the old guitar, before we changed the strings, I ended up starting to try to play hammers. I could hammer the 3rd finger and the 1st finger, but the 2nd finger was sort of, but not really able to hammer. Now I can't really hammer the 2nd finger at all on the new strings, but as we go, and I play probably every other day, we're going to see how that goes. Another thing that I've been playing with, I guess, or I don't know, I found that my singing voice has kind of it's very strange, it's hard to explain. My range has increased in that the notes that I can sing without crossing the break of my voice are higher now, but I can't sing anything falsetto above that. Like my vocal cords won't squeeze enough to sing the high falsetto squeaky notes, which I guess is okay, but it's weird that I feel like I can sing higher than I could before I was sick, before I crossed that break in my voice. Also, I've been experimenting with low singing. The subharmonics, I don't really know how to explain it very well, but You know, like if you play violin or guitar, you know that you can play harmonics where you touch the string and you end up forcing the string to vibrate on both sides of where you touch it. And you can cause the note to sing an octave up or 2 octaves up if you are 1/3 of the way across the string. So subharmonics are the opposite, where you can make your voice, your vocal cords flap at half the frequency they're supposed to, and you can drop your voice an octave. So I'm going to try to demonstrate that now. I may not be successful, but we'll see what happens. Say I was singing a note, and you kind of use vocal fry, and there's this guy on YouTube called Big Brev. He demonstrates it a lot, and he tries to teach people how to do it. I watched one of his videos, and here goes. So let's say I was singing a low note, like, I don't know, just la, and you start to do vocal fry and kind of squeeze your vocal cords a little bit, and trick your, I don't know, somehow force your vocal cords to flap at half speed. So it'd go, so that dropped an octave from the to the right. Now, making a weird sound like that doesn't really sound like singing, so I'm gonna try to sing a song or part of one, and this might be multiple takes, but we'll see how it sounds. Maria, the little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Snow is not very good, and I can sing it a bit louder. Let's see. Maria, the little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. So there was the guitar, there was the weird singing, which maybe is not that pleasant to hear. There was the driving. And you know, we've been doing more of the standing in the lift, so I found that I've gotten stronger there as well. I wasn't able to, we had to do a lot of weird like hacks to get me to stand better in the lift before, because I wasn't able to straighten my legs if the straps were pulling up under my leg. And the last few times we've done it, we stopped needing the extra straps, and we're even loosening the harness and able to do more than we could. So that seems like it's good progress as well. And there was one other thing that I was going to mention. Oh, there are negatives too, updates. I don't know if it's a negative update, but it seems that the steroids that I was on before have kind of triggered some cataracts in my eyes. So they're not like major problems right now, but what I was noticing is when it's bright, and even like bright screens and bright phones, my left eye can't really see properly if things are bright. Everything looks like it's like a greasy windshield. So if we're outside, I can't even really read the street signs because everything looks blurry. My right eye still kind of works, so it's not a big deal. And if I put sunglasses on, it seems to make it a lot better as well. And you know, when I'm working on my computer and my phone, you know, dark mode, everything is fine. But if there are white backgrounds, it just gets blurry. It's really hard to read. So we went to see the eye doctor, and they're like, well, yeah, that's normal cataracts with steroids, and we can replace all your lenses. And we're not going to do that right now because I'm still fine using my phone and my computers. At some point in the future, though, I will have to get cataract surgery. And I mean, I'm getting on in years, so it's not totally not normal, but I think I'm getting them a little earlier than I would have had to. And it's awkward for me because I've never worn glasses, but I've some friends who've had been through cataract surgery, and they've given me lots of good advice about how that stuff works, and so that'll be something farther in the future. For now, though, those are the updates, and those are some of the baselines that I wanted to share. We're going to probably redo those in the future. Maybe not the low singing. Well, we'll see if that's popular. Come up with a guitar name if you can think of one, and hopefully I'll have better guitar videos in the future, because this one's not exactly overwhelmingly amazing with the music. So that's all for today. I guess that's it. I'll talk to you guys again sometime in the future.